Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic that is called project management. Okay. So being here, I am just getting started. Like you should know about all the things on project management. So hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to discuss on a very interesting topic that is called project management. And we are going to discuss all the fundamentals that can help you to understand what project management is, the very first aspect. The second thing, if you are preparing for any interview as you're a fresher or something who needs some knowledge and understanding on project management and is going to appear on an interview, so this will be a quick uh, quick review or something like that, like quick reads that will help you to crack those. So let's get started. So project management basically is a trio, I would say, that is considers of a scope, cost, and time. Okay, and quality is the in the middle, means quality should be met. So if we want to define project management, then it could be a temporary start and with a definite start and a definite end. And there are three constraints: scope, cost, and time, and should meet the quality expectations. So let's understand what is a project. A project is a temporary start plus end date and unique, make something that doesn't exist before. Okay. And what is the operations? Operations is called ongoing, repetitive, keeps the light on work. To in a simple layman terms, a project can be termed as, like, let's suppose your educational institution that runs a lot of programs like BTech, MTech, MBA, BCA, BSCIT, and all those BALLB. So those are short-term projects, but on a longer run, they run the operations every year, maintaining the same standard quality and inputs and outputs to meet some specific criteria. So here is like a project. Let's suppose when I purchase a platform, let's suppose I purchase Shopify to host my e-commerce website. So when it gets started from initial to the setup, like the implementation till the launch, okay, from starting to the implementation till the launch, that particular thing would be a project. But now I need to maintain the inventory, products, cost, users, run ads on it. Then it could be considered as operations. Okay, like project has an end date, operation is ongoing, no end date. Project is like creating something new. Operation is sustaining something that is already existing. Like project could be as building a bridge, and operation could be maintaining the bridge. So the triple constraint, that is also called iron triangle, is scope, cost, and time and quality. It sits in the middle of all those three constraints. Like if you move one corner, the others must shift too. You can't touch just one. Like you need to consider all these three aspects when you are in the project, right? So let's suppose, so in a project there are stakeholders, sponsors, deliverables, and scope creep. So stakeholder, anyone that is affected by or who affects the project, right? A stakeholder could be your senior strategic leaders, leadership from different teams, your vendor team or partner teams with that is affected, that is involved in the project directly or indirectly. A sponsor, senior person who authorizes, pundits, and champions it. Deliverable, a tangible or intangible output the project must produce. And scope creep, any uncontrolled growth of scope without adjusting time or cost. A few reasons why the project fails were unclear shifting scope, unrealistic schedule or budget, poor communication, no risk plan, weak sponsorship, or fuzzy ownership, right? So if you want to try, you just think of a real project. or even planning a trip counts. Was what was the scope, what was the time limit, what was the cost limit, where did they fight each other. So like this, just you make a note on your handbook right now, as you watch the whole video. Okay, so just do this exercise and then come back. The project life cycle, like every project moves through 5 process groups. They overlap, they are not one and done boxes. First is initiate, plan, execute, monitor and control, and then close. Okay, monitor and control runs and alongside execution, right? The very first is initiation. Decide if it should happen. So draft the project charter. Formally authorize the project plus names the project manager. Name the project managers. Planning. Define how the work gets done. Scope creep, scope, work breakdown, structure, schedule, cost, resources, risk, quality, communications and procurement. You need to plan everything, like what is the scope of the project, what would be the schedule, how much cost is involved, what are the resources, like it could be living or non-living resources, anything. Risk, what are the risks involved, what should be the quality expectations of the project, how do we are communicating, are we communicating through email channels or through Slack or any Gmail chat options. Execution, actually do the work, usually eats 70 to 80% of the total effort and budget. Project charter, the doc that authorizes the project to exist. And change control, the formal process to approve and reject changes. This we will be talking it next. So monitoring and control, where we are tracking, planning, running change control, watching the risk and quality happening in parallel the whole time. So monitoring and control is like watching how the things are being like things are on track and being spearheaded in a very right direction. So all these good stuff. And monitoring and control like also manages, like if we use project management tools like Jira, Basecamp, MS Projects to monitor, track all the tasks, phases, achieve all the milestones and all those good things. Then comes the closing, confirms deliverable accepted, release the team, capture lesson learned and archive records. First thing that when the of closure that could be asked within many of the interviews or questions, that how a project is closed. A project is marked closed when the client or the project deliverables are accepted by the client or whosoever is the sponsor, and it releases the teams, capture the lessons learned, that what all the phases that you went through and what all you learned from them, and then archiving the record. So it's most commonly skipped step, but it's actually very costly to skip. So what is project charter? The doc that authorizes the project to exist. Project charter is like some simple page that explains all the aspects of the project, what is being built, what is the reason of building, what is the scope, what is expected as an outcome, who all are involved in these projects, like all those things. A project charter is then comes the change control, the formal process to approve or reject changes. Okay, change control, many of the organizations have this name like change advisory board, and they run cab meetings. And really it's the formal process where, so let's suppose a project is already running, and one of the client comes up, and one of the user client comes up and say that, yeah, hey, I need this change in this particular module or this particular section of the project. Then you need to take that task to the change advisory board. They will they will scope it out, like what would be the impact, is there a larger impact or any smaller impact, or has no impact in the process flows or whatever is the platform, well, like it is supported or not. Think of it like you are running a platform of e-commerce, and let's suppose the client comes up with the customization that, hey, there, please, can you please approve, get this change done on my dashboard. So you need to take that task, the requirement, document the requirement, and then gather it, and then share it with the change advisory board. Then they will review the requirement, think of it, and do all those impact analysis, and then they will approve or reject the change. So that is change control. And like you should try it. For a launch of company podcast, write one sentence of what happens in each of the five stages. Do this activity and then we will be back again. Roles is stakeholder and governance. What is the roles? Sponsor. Funding is what is the responsibility of a sponsor? Funding, authority, and remove big obstacles. Project manager owns day-to-day planning and delivery. Team executes the work. Steering committee, senior go on go plus big change decisions. Functional manager owns a staff, home department, shares authority with project manager. PMO, organization-wide standards for governance across the project. So these are roles of stakeholders and governance. Org structure, how much power the PM has. The organizational hierarchy always decided how much the power of project manager has on the project. Like if it is functional, PM has little formal power, must negotiate for people. Okay, metrics, dual reporting, project manager power grows weak to strong. And projectile staff report directly to PM, high authority. So in projectized organizational structure only, the project manager has the highest authority. Okay, now let's come to have to look to this power interest grid. Map every stakeholder here, like high power, low power, high interest, and keep informed, manage closely the sponsor. So like keep satisfied. Example, executive not directly involved. Okay, that they are satisfied with the project. Manage closely. You need to manage the closely the sponsors who need to like you need to do share all the feedbacks, all the details of the task, whatever is being spearheaded. Then comes the monitoring, that is minimal effort, and keep informed end users. Like the end users, you need to keep informed that this project is in this phase and this will be a beta launch or a or a production launch, and this like these types of informations. So really, the higher interest will be of end users and the sponsors, and high power is will be for key for the executives and the sponsors. Low power will be for the end users and monitoring teams. So RACI, who does that? RACI is a metrics chart. I have just created a specific video for RACI metrics, and that is in my channel, and you just can have a knock on it. And really, you should view that video and understand what RACI is and how much like how much is the it is helpful in managing projects. So responsible does it, accountable owns it, consulted gives input, and informed told after. RACI is the full form is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. So let's suppose there is task design. So project manager will be consulted, designer will be responsible, client will be accountable, and a sponsor will be informed. Okay, like this, building a prototype is project manager will be informed about that building prototype task, designer will be responsible and accountable, client will be consulted, and sponsor will be informed. Got it? So Racy helps you break down that who is responsible, who should be consulted, who should be informed, and who should hold the accountability for each task that you are spearheading in your organization. So try it. List six stakeholders for a project, place each on the grid, and how often would you talk to each? Got it? So do this activity and return back again. This activity will help you to engage yourself, to brush up your mind, brainstorm things, and then visualize. Imagination is also very much powerful if you want, and really it will be of great help to understand all the concepts. So let's come to the scope and the work breakdown structure. Scope, exactly what's in and what's out. Get this fuzzy and everything downstream suffers. So scope is the most important part of a project where we need to understand like exactly what we need to do and what not. And if it gets all thing involved or fuzzy, then it like the project is having the project will suffer losses. So, collecting requirement before scoping anything. Interviews, workshops, surveys, observations, prototyping, document analysis. Requirement traceability matrix. Link every requirement, its source, its deliverable, how it's tested. Stop requirement getting lost. Right? So, or you need to collect all the requirements. when you are on a project, like what needs to be done, what is the source, what are the deliverables, how it will be tested, what is the testing acceptance criteria, like is there any percentile that let's suppose there are a lot of codes that are written and sometimes that needs to pass 70 or 80% uh, of testing, then only they can be deployed. So these type of things are also there. So everything inch by inch should be included in the requirements collection. Coming to the work breakdown structure, the single most important, planning artifact. Break the whole project into smaller and smaller delivery until you hit a work package. Small enough to estimate and assign. Rule of thumb 8 to 80 hours. The 100% rule. The work breakdown structure must capture 100% of the scope, no more, no less. Every level sums up completely to the level above. Let's suppose you have a website launch. You have to design, development, content, and launch. The very first thing is wireframes, designing the wireframes, visual design, development of the front end and the back end. That is the most important. Then comes updating the content to the websites that has been developed. Then will be the launch. So, work breakdown structure is a family tree of the work, not a to-do list of activities. Make sure that work package, smallest work breakdown structure unit, assignable plus estimable. Scope verification, customer formally accepts deliverable, and scope control, monitor plus manage changes, prevent drifts. Now try it. Build a three-line work breakdown structure for organizing a company conference. Get to at least 8 work packages. Okay. Try it yourself and let me know. Scheduling and the critical path. From work breakdown structure to schedule. Defining the activities that are involved in the project, sequencing them, dependencies, one dependent on another, estimating the durations, build the timeline, dependency types, finish to start. Most common, B waits for A to finish, start to start, finish to finish, start to finish is rare. Okay, this is the rare. Mostly it is start to start or finish to finish. 3 point PERT estimate expected is equals to optimistic plus 4 most likely into plus P. P is pessimistic divided by 6. This is weighted average beats a single guess. So O is equals to optimistic, M stands for most likely, and P is pessimistic. Weighted average between a single guess, like 3 point PERT estimate. This is used for understanding the timeline for that, right? Critical path method. It is the longest path method. You should always remember A, B, D. So ABD is 10 days. Like suppose task A is 3 days, B is 5 days, D is 2 days. So ABD is 10 days. This is the critical path. And if you go to ACD, then 3 to 5 to 7. Path A to the 3 days offload is there. So as I said, critical path method is the longest path that is taken into account for a project. So here the critical path would be 10 days. Delay on the red path, whole project slips. Delay on gray path might not matter at all, right? So float slack, how much a task can slip without delaying the whole project. Got it? Fast tracking, run sequential tasks in parallel, raises risk. Crashing, add resources to shorten duration, raises cost. Gantt chart, horizontal bars over time, intuitive at a glance, but doesn't show the critical path as clearly as the network diagram above. So, Gantt chart, I will be creating a separate video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for the updates. And you should try this activity. List 5 tasks with duration and dependencies for a simple project. Find the critical path by hand. Okay. If you want a video that how you need to find a critical path using pen and paper, that can also be created. Just comment down your requirement. Cost, resources, and quality. Cost flow. Estimate work packages, roll up into cost baseline, add management reserves, and separate from contingency reserves. Direct cost tied straight to the project. salaries, materials, indirect cost, shared organizational overhead, fixed cost doesn't change with output, and variable cost scales with activity. That is variable cost. These are type of cost flows that are associated with project. Resources leveling, fixed over allocation may extend the schedule. Resources smoothing, adjust only within existing flow. Schedule stays put. So there's type of resources leveling and resources smoothing. So resources leveling is fixed over allocation, like it fixed and it can extend the schedule. And resources smoothing is like adjust only within existing flow. Schedule stays put. Like it could be adjusted a bit according to the that buffer we have. Quality QA versus QC. QA is quality assurance and QC stands for quality control. So quality is assurance is process focused, quality control is product focused. Quality assurance is are we following the right process, and quality control is does this deliverable meet the bar. So both needs to be well monitored, tracked when we are spearheading a project, right? Cost of quality, conformance, prevention plus appraisal minus training, testing, reviews is always cheaper than non-conformance. Internal plus external failure minus rework. Warranty claims, reputation damage. Prevention is less than inspection, less than fixing it after delivery. So cost of quality always matters. So try it for a project, list three direct cost, two indirect cost, and one quality check to run before final delivery. Earned value management. We are about 60% done is our guess. EVM replaces gut feel with numbers. So planned value, budget of work scheduled by now, earned value, budget of work actually done by now, and actual cost, what's really been spent so far. So scheduled variance will be EV minus PV, like it should be positive ahead of schedule. Cost variance EV minus AC, positive under budget. SPI should be EV divided by PV, and it should be greater than 1 ahead of schedule. CPI EV divided by AC greater than 1 under budget. EAC is BAC upon CPI projected final cost. Okay. So let's go like worked example. Let's suppose the budget BAC at is $1 lakh at month 4. Planned value is $40,000, earned value is $30,000, and AC actual cost is 35,000. So let's suppose we are going to schedule variance that is minus 10,000 behind. This is behind, like it is negative, so we are behind the schedule. Then comes cost variance 30,000 minus 5,000 minus over budget. We are also over budget. Then comes SPI. It's upon 30,000 minus divided by 40,000 0.75. So it means we are again less than 1, so we are behind the schedule. CPI is 30,000 by 35,000 0.86, and that is again greater than sorry less than 1, so we are over budget. EAC is BAC upon CPI, so 1 lakh upon 0.86 is 1 lakh 16,000 projected final cost if this trend continues. So we are 16,000 over budget dollars approximately. So one set of numbers just told us behind schedule and over budget. No guessing needed. You need not to guess anything else. So good status reports include what we said we do, what we actually did, SPI upon CPI plus milestone plus risk status. What's next? Issues needed our decision with a clear ask. So try it now. You need to try this particular activity and get the answer in the comment box if you would like to do that. Risk and change management. Risk process. Identify, brainstorm, checklist, expert interviews. Identify, analyze, plan, and monitor. These are the risk process. You can basically. So probability into impact matrix minus prioritize what actually deserves your time. So high prior probability, medium and low interest impact, medium impact and high impact. This is critical. High probability, high impact is critical task. Medium probability and medium impact is medium task. Medium probability and high impact is considered high. Low probability and high impact is considered medium risk. Low probability, medium impact considered as uh low risk. So low probability, low impact, low risk. High probability, low impact, medium risk. High probability, medium impact, high risk. So response strategies, threats. Avoid if you want if you call about threats, you should avoid, mitigate, transfer, or accept. And opportunities, exploit, enhance, share, and accept. Change controlled. Don't skip this ever. Request, assess the impact, review by proper authority, approve, reject, defer, update baseline, and communicate. Let's suppose a client comes up, like I have given the example few minutes before also. Like if a client comes up with a request and you need to then assess the impact, the scope, time, cost, quality, risk involved, and all the other areas of impact on the product, then review by proper authority, get the approval, rejection, or defer according to the scope of the task, and then update the baselines and communicate to the end user of the client, whosoever it is, right? Even a tiny free change should go through this. Many small unmanaged changes, exactly how scope creep happens. Even if a smallest change is going through, should go through this particular change control board, and then otherwise the scope creep will be happening. So risk register, living log of risk plus owners plus response plans. CCB, change control board, the group that approves changes. Baseline, the approved version you measure performance against. Name three risks, technical, people, and external for a project. Assign probability by impact, pick a response. Do this activity for this module. There are mostly two methodologies that are widely used in project management, that is Waterfall and Agile. Waterfall is the traditional methodology if you are knowing that what needs to be built and what is fixed. Let's suppose Waterfall methodologies are majorly widely used in construction project like construction of homes or something like that. And Agile methodology or Scrum methodology is mostly used by SaaS organizations or any software development life cycles or any type of thing that needs iterative refining approach to build the product more smarter, more valuable. So let's understand waterfall. Requirement, you gather the requirement, design, build, test, and deploy. That's it. This is sequential. Each phase finishes before the next start. Great when requirements are stable, construction, regulated work, like I told you. Then comes agile, plan, build, review, retro. Then again plan, build, review, and retro. Short repeating cycles, shift working increments, adopt based on feedback. Great for evolving requirements, right? So sprint. Sprint is fixed length iteration that could be from 1 to 4 weeks. Mostly widely organization keep it for 2 weeks. Make sure backlog. Prioritize list of everything that might be needed. That is termed as backlog. Kanban, maximum item allowed in progress at once. Okay. Time boxing, fix the duration regardless of scope done. Got it? Roles in Scrum. Product owner defines prioritized value. Scrum Master removes obstacles. Dev team builds it. Ceremonies, sprint planning, daily stand up, sprint review, retrospective. These are the ceremonies that happens when you are in Scrum methodology. So sprint planning, where you will plan all the story points, gather all the requirements, prioritize that in this sprint we are going to do this task and deliver it. Daily stand up to review all the like to have an update on the on all the tasks that are in progress. Then comes the sprint review. At the end of the sprint, you have the sprint review where and then comes retrospective where next things are planned or something. So requirement favors waterfall, stable, known, favors agile, evolving. Customer involvement upfront only, continuous. Deliverable type, physical construction, software, digital. Agile development is like software, digital teams, and it's the so let's do an activity here. Building a house versus building an app. Which methodology fits each and why? So building a house, waterfall methodology, and building a app, agile methodology. Got it? So building a house, what all is required? You require labor, you require resources that are materials, BOM, bill of materials. That could be like cement, bricks, um, and all those rods and materials. So this is having the fixed things like the requirement is known, design is done, building is now on the phase, testing and then deploy. Now agile. Agile is like something evolving software. You are building a e-commerce application, let's say e-commerce website, and now today the age is came of AI. And if you are not on a, you're not using AI on your website, then you will be on at a greater risk of fall. So AI helps to like acts like a customer support agent and resolve the concerns of the customers that are made, that could be like tracking of orders or anything like that. So similarly, there are many use cases of AI that is going on. So it is iterative approach. Once is AI, then next something else will come up, and next something else will come up. So like this agile methodology will help you to build a iterative model for the things. Communication, leadership, and closing. Communication complexity grows fast. Channels n minus 1 divided by 2. A team of 10 people, 45 possible communication channels. This is why structure, regular cadences, single source of truth, clear escalation matters more as team grows. Let's suppose there is 45, like a team of 10 people. 10 minus 1 divided by 2. So 10 into 990 divided by 2, 45. There are 45 possible communication channels that can be built. So this is why a proper structure, a cadence, a single source of truth, a clear escalation matters a lot. Leadership is not equal to management. Make sure these things, these two are different aspects. Management is planning, organizing, and controlling, where leadership stands for inspiring, motivating, and resolving the conflicts. Management is the hard mechanics, and leadership is the human side. Need both. Pure managers lose discretionary effort, pure leaders lose control of scope, cost, schedule. Conflict resolution styles. The very first, collaborating. What are the conflict resolution styles? Collaborating. Win-win. Address the root cause. Best for big issues. Compromising. Partial win-win. Faster, not optimal. Smoothing. Protect the relationship over the issue. And forcing. Use authority. Fastest, most damaging. Avoiding. Postpone. Fine only for trivial stuff. Closing checklist. Confirm deliverables meets the acceptance criteria. Get a formal sign off whenever you are closing a project. Okay. Over an email, over the project project document, whichever you have. Finalize all contracts, procurement, release resource back to their teams. Run a retrospective. What worked, what didn't, what to change. Archive documentations. Celebrate closure is an emotional milestone too, right? Skip this and dispute linger. Was it really done? Lessons are not captured. Next project repeats the same mistake. Make sure to always capture what worked, what didn't, and what needs to be changed. Try it. Write a one paragraph retrospective for a real project, one thing that went well, one thing that didn't change for next time. It could be any project, like a real world project, you have done any task or any task, anything. There are a lot of projects revolving around you. Just you need to have those eyes to watch it. Put it all together. Pick a real hypo. You need to do this capstone. I'm really uh, pushing you that you just do this activity. It will be giving you a very good touch of understanding the knowledge what project management is. Pick a real or hypothetical project. Produce in outline form. One paragraph charter. Purpose, objective, scope, sponsor. Let's suppose if you are not able to find up a project, then I will suggest you that why you did your graduation, why you are doing the graduation. Okay, what degree you are pursuing. That could be a project. You can just write like what is the purpose of doing BTech, what is the objective, what is the scope, and what who are the sponsors. Sponsors will be of course parents. A three-level work breakdown structure, five stakeholders mapped on the power interest grid, a schedule with 6 to 8 task dependencies and critical path, a budget outline with three cost categories, the three risk with response strategies, a methodology choice, waterfall, agile, hybrid, plus Y, a closing checklist. If you are already in the project management, you just apply all these things. Just give this activity your time and brush up your brains. it will be really helpful. Like this is the same kind of real PMs uses on real project. Do this once and the whole notebook clicks into place. Okay, if you now want this PDF, you just need to comment in the comment section, uh, project management, and I will share you to your mail ID. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. In case if you are looking for any additional topics, understandings, or anything, just drop down your comments and leave it to me. I'll surely get back to you. Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.